Starting this. Okay, guys, it's Chaotic Dragon here. Today is a discussion video on the up-and-coming Zoodiacs. But before we get into that, I need you guys to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Just so you know, I read all my comments. So, if you can help me out, do that. Now, for the first beginning part of our discussion is, I'm going to give you every card I can basically think of, or type of card, I should say, that will give you an advantage against this up-and-coming deck. Now, the first type of card I'm going to give you are tribute cards, like basically the Kaijus, Ra, Lava Golem, etc. Any of these kind of cards where you get to tribute your opponent's cards. Using these cards is going to give you an advantage because the cards you are afraid of are the Mulmarat and the Drancia, or whatever their English names may be. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head at this point in time, so we'll just go with their Japanese names for the time being. That is your first level of protection, is basically going second and tributing their entire board, basically, in a nutshell. The second thing is if you're going first, you can do a preemptive strike. So, for example, if you play cards that prevent their special summons, such as these cards you see here, all of the barrier statues, minus the Earth one, of course, Pachycephalo, Zap Mustang, and Vanity's Fiend. These are all cards. I mean, there's obviously, you can also play cards like Vanity's Emptiness if you want, or Lose a Turn. I'm going to get to Lose a Turn in just a second, but basically, in a nutshell, these are the cards you want to play. They're good in various decks, just depends on the deck you're playing. Like, for example, you could play, let's see here, we got Hunter Family, Rockstun, you could just play this in water, like Atlantean Mermails, Fairy, Counter Fairy, Volcanics, Harpies, and, well, just for example, we'll use Archfiends. Just examples for each of these. You use Ties of the Brethren, boom, you get these guys out, and your opponent goes, oh, I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Lose a turn. Easy card of choice. Now, warning, this is not going to save you from Drancia on your turn. Okay, this is only going to slow them down on their turn. So make sure you've got something to back this up, because otherwise you've just wasted a card. Don't bother. The next kind of card we're going to talk about are cards that can't be targeted. Example, Chaos Max, all the Cosmo ships, and like most of the Magispectors. I would show Kirin over Bambuku here, but I don't know if Kirin will still be here very long, so just in the off chance that that's not the case, I've got Bambuku here to stick around, to save time in that aspect. Also to include these cards that can't be targeted are many of these extra deck monsters like Leo, Zuri's, Yazi, and Fortune Tune. These cards have the same concept as these three because they cannot be targeted by card effects. Warning, though, is if you are playing Blue Eyes and you play Zuri's, remember, that's temporary protection. Chaos Max is more permanent. The next answer to the Zoodiacs is board wipes. And what I'm giving you is, oh, that's card. Domain is actually with our play stoppers. Like, this is a domain is actually like these guys, you know, it's preventing them from special summoning the extra deck. Back to what I was saying is board wipes. These cards are all basically board wipe type cards. You can play Regeki, Dark Hole, and Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. These three cards are very much the go-tos, but I'm just throwing a few extra cards that are options in case you can't get a hold of some of these cards. Like, I don't know why you couldn't, but let's say, like, for example, you can't get a hold of Kaiju Slumber, which is the best one among these, I would imagine. It's Kaiju and Regeki. You can play 2 Dark Holes. If blowing up your own monsters might be a problem, you can do Vortex, and you can do Special Hurricane. Just remember, these guys have a cost, much like also like Dark Light here, but this card's also very good for dark decks, which any dark deck, like, you can play Pendulum Magicians and tech in a Dark Light, and boom, there's your answer right there. Torrential Tribute, same concept as Dark Hole, just, you know, whatever works best for your particular deck. I'm trying to give you as many options or get your brain flowing because there are more options to fight this deck than what people are giving it credit for. Also, since we're still in board wipes, If you're playing a hero deck, I recommend Absolute Zero, because if they blow it up, well, guess what? They've basically screwed themselves, because now they're going to lose their board too. And you don't care, because, let's face it, your deck doesn't really won't be relying much on Absolute Zero, other than just a beat stick and a board wipe. Now, what's in this bottom row here is what I want to call budget alternative options, per se. These two cards are the cards you've got to be afraid of, is Mulmarat and Drancia. So it's like, stop the play at the beginning or stop the play at the end. That's kind of how it looks to me like you're going to have to fight this deck. Now, what I'm going to give you is these are just these budget answers, per se. Xyz Avenger is good because he's unaffected by Xyz monsters. So, also, by the way, he combos with Darklight. Just throwing that your way. Being that he's an 1800 beat stick. Just throwing that your way. Flying Sea. Now, Flying Sea is, like I said, a lot of these cards need backup. You cannot just do this, like, throw a Flying Sea out there or use a card like Xyz Encore and expect that to be enough. It's not going to be. You have to back these cards up with another play. So, you throw your Flying Sea out there, and the second you see a tuner, you get rid of that shit. Get rid of it. Alright, then, for example, Forbidden Dress. Also, Forbidden Dress here is another budget option for us players who are a little low on the cash. The point of the Forbidden Dress here is Drancia targets. So basically what we can do is we can say, well, he can't be targeted any further and he can't be destroyed by card effects. It's a double whammy in that aspect. Xyz Revenge for Xyz decks. This also might be a viable option for a mirror match. So if you are playing the Zoodiacs, Xyz Revenge might not be a bad idea for you. If you can, bring back your Drancia, take one of their Xyz, their Gusto Emeralds Xyz materials, and boom, you win. Space Cyclone, another budget option. Just take away an Xyz material, and their Drancia can't blow up you nothing. Just make sure you can get rid of Drancia before battle phase, or the Zoodiac Viper is gonna come back and bite you in the backside. I've already said Encore. I believe it only is going to bring back those level monsters under the Xyz materials, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Now, this is the card I'm actually interested in trying, is Forbidden Apocrypha. And the idea here is that a lot of the Zoodiac players are playing Gusto Emerald next to Drancia, so this card will just simply say you just call Xyz, and all the Xyz monsters on the board will be sent to the grave. Not destroyed, they are sent. Another thing is Gadrel Prison. It's the same concept. You basically can stop if you have a Tributed or a Ritual or a Fusion monster, you can stop Xyz or Synchro monsters. Xyz Reversal, another Xyz type card, where if you're playing Xyz, the really cool trick you could do is if you have this card set up right, your opponent, basically what's going to happen is Drancia's going to try to blow up your monster. You flip this at the right time. You just switch control of them, giving your Xyz monster to them. Now you have that Drancia, and these monsters you give them is still going to get blown up because it doesn't change the targets. Now this is a combo piece right here. If you're going to play the Counter Fairy deck that I mentioned earlier, a counter card you might want to try is Heraldry Record, because this negates the activation of Xyz monsters and destroys them. And that is just a really good and easy play you can play there if you want to play something anti-meta like Counter Fairies. Okay. This is all my options. This is everything I could currently think of to battle the Zoodiacs coming up. If there's anything that you guys can think of that, even a budget player can use, it doesn't even matter what kind of card. This is mostly just archetypes of cards and to guys get your brain flowing. In a nutshell, that's what this whole video is about. So if you guys could do me a favor, don't forget to comment and like the video like I asked at the beginning of the video. Also, if you guys subscribe, you guys can check more of my content. Oh, and quick channel update. I am going to be doing a schedule change where I start uploading on a consecutive days, but I will let you guys know more about that tomorrow or in a future video. So this is the Chaotic Dragon, and I'm going to sign off. So everyone have a good night or day whenever you're watching this.